From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
Hey, what is up, people? Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I kind of fell asleep. I haven't done a video in a couple of days. Been dealing with a bunch of illnesses at home. So, yeah, kids and everything else. So, tomorrow the videos will start coming out again. And I don't know what I'm doing a video on, but I usually don't know until the morning. And I'm talking about videos on John Crump News. Today, we're going to be talking about really interesting stuff, which I don't even know what we're going to be talking about. But yeah, that is what we're going to be doing. And we are going to be doing that with my friend, my co-host, my esteemed partner in crime, Mr. Richard Hughes.
You're a liar. You're lying. You're lying to impress a date. I'm a liar.
What are you talking about?
Project Veritas, the Pfizer video. I clipped that audio and I've been using that on thumbnails. I mean, shorts, YouTube shorts.
Oh, okay.
But I had to do like AI voice processing on it because Google identified it as audio from a video they removed from the platform. So I did AI audio enhancement on it to make it clearer, but now so Google doesn't recognize it. And it wasn't consecutive verbiage. It wasn't like I picked, some of the funnier portions of his audio, and Google still like the processing power they must do. No, you didn't mute your phone? I can't believe you didn't mute your phone. Oh my gosh. And Hello? Mute yourself.
Yeah, this is John. Okay. Do you have any times available tomorrow?
Ooh, I just got a message. Xander's going to come on and talk about the Makers match.
How do we do at 12?
I'm going to mute John.
Yep.
I'm just going to click remove. So you can just see me. And I'd love to hold up some cool gun and show you and talk to it, but we're on YouTube, so I can't do that. So this is the menagerie of live broadcasting. But the cool thing is I've got a new Mac and I can run StreamYard and it doesn't choke the life out of it.
Oh, that's cool. No, that was my GOA rifle is in.
Guess what I'm getting? That's coming in. It's 10mm, cheap, and goes pew pew.
You went with the. People keep asking me, "Are you gonna get the high point 10mm?" I'm like, no.
Well, I'm gonna get a T&E on it. I just got an email today. It's like.
Okay, well, you enjoy that.
What the heck?
I'm getting the GOA rifle from Tipman. The Tipman.
Yeah.
GOA,
I mean, I get some cool stuff, but nowhere near like F1 firearms and custom rifle from Tipman cool stuff.
And it's Tron.
What's up?
Tron. Also known as Xander. Hey, I got a question for you and Rich.
Yeah.
I sent Rich a bunch of audio where they did AI, like it was AI voice.
Oh, I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
You said that while I saw Dark Show last night.
yeah. Oh my god, it's so freaking hilarious. There's a website that does all these funny videos where the presidents
Oh,
like play Minecraft and stuff.
yeah, the video game dubs. I love those.
Yeah, and one of the things they did was they did a one where they talked about they were ranking Zelda, and it was freaking hilarious. The different Zelda games.
That's
It was
awesome.
like Biden, Obama, and Trump.
Yeah, I've seen some of the like the Call of Duty ones.
Yeah, and they also they had one where like it was Biden, Trump, and Obama playing Minecraft, and then Ben Shapiro joined, and then they blew up Obama's Minecraft house, and then they blamed it on Hillary Clinton.
That's sounds about right.
It's freaking hilarious, and they sound good though.
Oh no, the AI is getting very good. I don't know if you've played with any of them yet, but like I've used ChatGPT now to write some code. I was playing with Mid Journey the other day with Zip, just generating random images based on a prompt.
Yeah, Mid Journey booted me. They said I got to pay now.
Yeah, I turned Rich on to Mid Journey.
Well, you get like 25 queries a day, Rich. I don't
oh yeah, you mean I can go back? I can go back to the well.
I think you can go back. Yeah, I don't think they kicked you out permanently.
Yeah,
unless
so
you were asking for like nasty stuff, but
yeah,
no. So if you go to Flying Rich Firearms, my banner art is from Mid Journey.
Oh, there you have it.
Yeah, they have an AI face filter which replaces your face with the face of a famous person like Elon Musk and stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of difference like around the neck, but if you didn't know what to look for, you might be fooled.
Yeah, I think in the very near future it's going to be an actual problem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nothing in a very, very near future.
Yeah, because wait till the scammers start using that. It's like your wife calling you, "Hey, I lost my phone. I'm calling on somebody else's phone. Can you give me the bank account number?" It's like,
no, they won't do that. They would just clone the phone or spoof the number.
Yeah, you can SIM jack pretty easily now. Which reminds me, your public service announcement for the day: don't use your phone as your two-factor authentication.
100%. This is public, but the couple that owns a JM4 Tactical, they use their phone for two-factor authentication. And someone used that and got access to Coinbase and stole $15,000 worth of Doge.
oh shoot.
Yeah. Oh, second announcement: use a hardware wallet.
Yeah, don't keep it. Well, there's a couple different reasons why. Another reason why, if you use something like an exchange as your wallet, you can look at FTX.
Yeah, that was obviously bad.
And also, they can claw back money too.
What?
So can how I learned about clawbacks? You know what a clawback is?
Yep.
If someone pays you through a ETF or ATF.
Yeah, say I do a wire transfer to John, and then some time period later, I decide, oops, you can actually do a clawback on that. Meaning pull back the transfer, reverse the transfer.
I worked for a company called Simplexity, and when they went out of business, they clawed back my last 2 paychecks.
Nice.
Wow.
Classy.
That's why you move the money out of the account as soon as you get paid.
Straight under the mattress.
Exactly. Then the government will civil forfeit it.
Right.
Yeah. CRS called me up the other day. He's like, dude, I got this case where they're suing a machine gun. what the hell? Like civil forfeiture.
There, wait. Is there anything that says you can sue a duck, a cow, a rock,
You can sue
a pile of cash?
inanimate. You can sue a pile of cash. You can sue ducks. There's been, I think there was, what was it? Can't remember what the case was, but someone sued a gorilla.
Okay.
It was really weird.
That's crazy. That's just.
I've never heard of
Whew.
it. I don't doubt.
Yeah,
it. Just never
it
heard
was
Well,
like, the gorilla took a picture with the person's phone, right? The gorilla took picked up a camera, took a selfie, and the zoo posted it. And like, well, the gorilla owns it. He took it, and the person sued him that owned the phone or the camera. The person that owned the camera sued over that because they wanted the rights to the picture, but the zoo was like, no, the gorilla owns rights. So the person sued the gorilla.
So who won? I'm way too vested into this story now.
Yeah. Did the gorilla show up in court with his own attorney?
No, the gorilla won because because the zoo defended the gorilla because the gorilla was the property of the zoo, and the person was suing the gorilla for like.
Whoa! Gorillas are property? Holy cow!
Don't even go there, Rick. I don't want to be demonetized.
Yeesh.
Oh, and I will say YouTube did remove my strike for misinformation.
Really? It did? Finally?
How did you get that done?
That's
I
hilarious.
have kept on tweeting out them articles.
Just yell at them constantly.
What did I get pulled for? Oh yeah, they pulled me. I posted a voiceover of a Ghost Gun ad, and they said I was showing how to manufacture firearms by a very artsy Ghost Gunner ad that by no means showed how to manufacture a firearm.
Yeah, that's why I don't even mess with YouTube. Look what happened to Snow.
Oh yeah, dude, that's terrible. His freaking channel got pulled.
Yeah, it's.
I'm just shocked because Snow's a smart guy.
Put into something just to get canceled because, California doesn't like it.
Yeah. Snow's a smart guy. He knows how to play within the rules. And what was the reason for cancellation? They said his channel was primarily firearms, and that's bad.
I don't even think they gave him a reason. They just said, in our determination, you may be not following the rules.
Yeah, they said you have gross violations of our term of service.
But
the problem is these places change the terms of service
on a regular basis.
Yeah, they change the terms of service, and then they gig you for stuff you did in the past.
Or they change how they enforce the terms of service.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
So, I got a strike on a video that was a year old. It's like, you mean...
Those are my favorite.
Or
11 months ago?
Or they put an AI in charge, and the AI goes crazy. Recently, we had the whole entire gunpocalypse, which they said, oh, sorry, it was our mistake, blah, blah, blah.
AI gunpocalypse.
Later, Rich, tell them who they hit.
Oh, they hit everybody. They hit you, they hit me, they hit Dark.
A week later after the gunpocalypse was over and they restored everyone.
Oh, they hit, what was it? Everybody in the occult, was it? Or
haunted house videos. People are like, go do ghost, like looking for ghost and haunted houses. A bunch of those channels got demonetized and removed. Kind of funny,
and
right?
I shouldn't say. I mean, I'm about to say, it's kind of like what is the saying? If I paraphrase it correctly, when they came for these, I didn't say nothing, and then when they came for me, there was nobody left.
Yeah, that was a group of people, I think.
Yeah. But likewise, when they're going after it, what I laugh at as a PewTuber when car people complain about YouTube's, overbearing control over the car community on YouTube, I'm like, what? What? Because you're doing 200 miles an hour down a public street because you
In
drifted the car
Mexico.
sideways 3
In
blocks?
Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Exactly.
We now take a side trip in Mexico.
They set their location too in Mexico. Like that's they went to Mexico to do that. It's not against U.S. laws.
Yeah, they're in LA 1 minute or Utah 1 minute, and suddenly in Mexico.
What of it? Super speed 717 lives in Pennsylvania. Like, oh, we're gonna go to Mexico really quick.
Yeah,
in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in it's the car guy version of in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's it's kind of funny, man. It's ridiculous.
Okay, Brandon says Salty Cracker got a strike on a deleted video.
I've heard people get strikes on deleted videos too.
Pepperidge Farm and YouTube, remember.
Street Speed 717, that's what it is. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, Street Speed 717. It's funny because that was a neighborhood my dad lived in, so I know those roads. It's like I see, like I know that road. I know that's.
Oh, in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of,
that was my dad's area code.
No. Hey, Xander, are you going to the gathering?
Probably not. What weekend is that?
Shoot, I looked it up last time you were here, didn't I?
Yeah, 26th, I think. I'm coming out of my basement, man.
Yeah.
I'm never coming out of my basement.
Now that I got a new
I don't know. I'm
23,
trying to put all these
March
things in
24th.
March 24th.
So you're liking your new Mac?
Oh,
where
frick,
is it?
yeah. I can do StreamYard and something else now. It's unbelievable.
Oh wait, that's the South Carolina one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no reason not to go. I'll race you there.
No, I got myself a Steam Deck, which is kind of cool.
I've heard they're pretty neat. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's a Linux underneath, so you can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just a full Linux kernel, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can actually exit to the Linux desktop and run stuff from the Linux desktop too. The command prompt.
I dig it.
You get a 3D print from it.
Turn it into a printer. Run Clipper on it.
Octoprint. Yeah, whatever. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So, what you been up to since the last time we've had you on the show, which seems like it's been months
I feel
ago.
like I was just here. Yeah. No, I was just bugging Rich because I was talking about the Makers match. I'm encouraging everybody to make sure that they get their lodging and travel plans sorted out because it's about that time. Because that's
so. What is the Makers match?
So the Makers match came into being 3 years ago now. This will be the third annual match. But the goal behind it and the goal of it is that all competitors have to use only DIY firearms. So either a kit build like your P80 or an 80% lower or something like that. That's the kit division. Or we have the printed division where, your pistol and or PCC and or rifle is printed. But it's run very similar to your standard like multi-gun or 3-gun competition. But all competitors are builders.
I heard since the first one, the guns have gotten a lot more reliable.
The first one was honestly hilarious, and I don't think anybody will ever give the match credit for it, but I think the match really did inspire a lot of developers to start looking at things from a more practical standpoint. Like having an ejector in your build is important. You don't realize that until you actually go out and try and shoot it rapidly and accurately, but yeah, firearm, just in general, DIY firearms have improved dramatically over the last 3 years. I think everybody getting locked up for COVID was a huge motivator as well.
Yeah, that and also the materials, because during the
Yeah.
first one, no one printed in carbon fiber nylon, and now
I mean, mine was, but yeah.
don't let me fight. Xander printed in carbon fiber nylon. That's
Yeah,
why he was the leader and still is the leader of Are We Cool Yet? Aussie.
I need like a Gaddafi jacket or something, like Leader in Exile. But no, yeah, there is something to that as well. Year one, there were 3 or 4 really primary designs, and most of them were in PLA. Year two, people started getting a little bit more adventurous with not only the designs but the materials as well. This year, I expect to see quite a few ASA, ABS, carbon filled nylons and everything else. Plus, this year will be the first year we really have reliable rifle caliber printed firearms. So between the Orca, the ARC 2.0, the AUG.
Oh, okay.
The ARC 2.0 is awesome.
Yeah, I love that thing. I have mine right here. I don't want to demonetize.
I haven't finished mine. The parts are all printed.
You need to finish it before the 3.0 comes out.
Yeah. Well, I got another year on that.
A couple of other folks are working on some new stuff. The one team's working on a FAMAS build. It looks like a FAMAS, but it uses AR components.
Cool.
I wouldn't encourage it for the makers match, but the lever action and the pump action stuff is pretty neat too. Those are holding up pretty well, and obviously don't have the same heat issues that you would get from rapid fire, semi-automatic.
So what are you going to be running?
I'm debating right now. It's going to probably be either an ARC 1.0 or a 2.0 for the rifle, and then I'll run my stack 17 long frame because I've been using that in all my competitions.
Do you have an AUG running?
I do. Recently, there again, it's sitting right here, but I don't want to.
Yeah. Now, is that an alpha? Was that from the alpha, or is that the beta?
So I actually just reprinted everything with the latest files.
All right. What's the difference in the latest files? Like they're the 1.3, I think.
There's a few fitment things that make it cycle better. It's mostly a reliability change.
So is it a rod issue?
There were a couple of things. The rods were one of them. Rod clearances and just geometry.
Because I got like I have 4 complete receivers printed right now.
If
with
it was
the 1.2.
1.2?
Yeah, is it 1.2? The not the latest version, but the one before that.
You should probably be safe then.
Yeah. Should I sleeve the rods?
Giggity. I didn't. I would try it first.
All right. Yeah, I just ordered 6 barrels, so I don't have my barrels yet.
Did you get V barrels or did you get CAC barrels? CAC Industries.
CAC barrels.
CAC is now producing barrels for the AUG project, which is pretty exciting. That's a pretty household name now, delving into the DIY, or I shouldn't say DIY, but helping out with the printing side of things.
So actually, I don't have any information. So who is like the lead developer on the AUG project?
That is between Because 2A and Casca are the two main devs.
Who's the Riddler?
The Riddler?
Who makes up the riddles?
Oh, I think that's Because 2A.
Are there new riddles on the new files?
I haven't looked. I don't think so. I think if you're in the beta, you're in the beta. I think the riddles were really just to get you from the lobby to the beta.
Oh, all right, I got you.
They had to have some fun with it.
Because I didn't unzip the new files.
Yeah.
One of the things I was interested in printing the fire control group.
Yeah, they have a functional printed and AR-15 fire control group.
Well, I didn't want to print the AR fire control group. I wanted to print the AUG fire control group. You know, the carrier and all that bit.
The carrier, like the bolt carrier?
Yeah, basic. Well, no, I mean the the cassette.
Oh, yeah, you could do that all day. And there should be the non-NFA one, which keeps you from having to cut up your parts. Yeah,
I can just crush it in a vise.
much better.
Now, can I ask you a question?
And the U is?
Is there a OG files out there that have the inhibitors removed?
Well, you just don't have to put them in if you're an SOT.
I'm just joking.
Short answer is yes, because there are developers that work directly with SOTs. So those files do exist. I don't know if they're publicly released, but I know that you could do it. If you were an SOT and you wanted to work with the project, you could definitely reach out and get those.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, to leave it full auto, you just don't do the defeats, right?
No, so the receiver itself that you print has like a hump in it
diameter.
that you have to cut the stock to make it actually fit.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but what would that have to do with full auto or not?
it breaks the trip.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you about that because Walter's going to build one full auto.
Yeah. We usually work with Engineering Arms over there in the Midwest. He's awesome. He's the one that helped with the Scorpion burn down test, the 1,000 rounds at full auto.
Oh, wow.
He did some full auto set me stuff at one point. He's always at the match. He usually brings his MP5 for people that have never shot full auto and stuff like that. So I expect he will be down to do something with the AUG as well here soon.
Inhibitors. We don't need no.
Hey, it's Safety Harbor. I need a 50.
Yep. All right, there. Yeah, don't we all? Snoring Rich has a question.
Yes,
I'm gonna let Rich read Snoring Rich's question.
Question for you, Cron. Do you anneal your nylon? And I'm assuming you meant prints. And if you do you use the sand method or just oven or boiling in water?
So I don't. I've never needed to anneal nylon. I've only ever needed to anneal polycarbonate, especially like carbon-filled polycarbonate. Nylons have always held together quite well for me. But when I do the polycarb, I use sand and a sous vide.
So you put it in a bag, the part in the bag with sand and a sous vide?
Yeah, the sand keeps the shape. It holds the shape so that the water doesn't distort it. And then the sous vide keeps it at the right temperature the whole time so that you're not trying to play with boiling water.
I mean, so how hot do you run the sous vide?
I don't remember. For polycarb, it's got to be, I think I maxed out my sous vide.
Because typically the sous vide only runs 180 degrees Fahrenheit.
I got to look at mine. I can send you my notes, but I haven't done it in a long time because I stopped using polycarb altogether.
You're still using the Sane Smart carbon fiber nylon?
Yeah, I love Sane Smart. I know everybody's got their own opinions on what nylon is best, but I'm not even saying it's the best, but I definitely like it for the price. It's significantly cheaper than the other options.
And there's Ruby Rich. Ruby Ridge is supposed to, it's a play on Ruby Ridge from the Darks channel, right?
Yep,
that's funny.
Yesterday was the anniversary of Waco, and the FBI did a big celebration on.
I saw them post something on Twitter about their fallen agents.
Yeah.
It didn't go over well.
Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't mention the other 70 people that were killed, including women and children.
Neglected to mention that part, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think that's one of those things, the date goes by, you don't like, hey, we lost the agent that day. Maybe you just like zip it, throw away the key.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to Walter about the part of the AUG that's most heat sensitive is the last portion where the barrel extension goes in. And I was talking to Walter about CNCing that.
Walter, who's Walter? Which Walter?
Walter Keller from Safety Harbor Firearms.
Oh, okay, that Walter. Well, there's a few Walters that I know, and I was like, "How do you know Walter?"
Uh-huh.
Thinking of obviously a different one.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I don't know how that works for regulated stuff. Like, would that be considered a DD at that, or not a DD, but would that be considered a receiver at that point? Would we need to serialize it?
Let's see, where are my notes here? I was talking to Jacob, and Jacob said some people doing imports actually serialize the bolt carrier.
Yeah, it's a European thing.
It's such a weird gun too, though. It's a very strange weapon.
Yeah, well, in Europe you have to serialize everything.
How European? But yeah, that would be cool. I would really love to see somebody get the cut code right for like a GG3, so we could make it out of a block of aluminum. I feel like that's very doable. Since we're doing the buffer towers now for the 0% lowers, I think that you could probably do that very rear trunnion, I guess, in aluminum off of the GG3 pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that would be cool. But I think it's kind of ironic to watch, because like if you've been building long enough, right, you started in metal. You started with clamshells and welding and CNC or drilling out 80% lowers and stuff like that. And then you have all of the 3D printed folks, and like most of the 3D printed folks started with printing. Like that's how they got into guns, was printing guns. And now they're slowly migrating towards metal, and all the metal guys are like slowly migrating this way. So it's like everybody's going to meet in the middle.
Yep.
With some really cool hybrid metal stuff.
Yeah. That is really cool. I just want to talk about Waco for a second. Sorry, guys. Do you know what they rated Waco over?
Didn't they suspect them of having machine guns?
Machine guns. No, that's after they determined that when they rated them for machine guns that they didn't have machine guns.
They had to come up with another reason.
They started saying that there was child abuse going on.
That sounds right. We saved them. They're all on fire.
Yeah,
so the ATF is doing child abuse now?
Well, that's what they said. In all their press conferences, they mentioned the child abuse. But they never said that they were issuing search warrants or executing arrest warrants for child abuse for machine guns.
Did they have machine guns?
No. The child abuse stuff never came up until after Waco burned down.
There were no machine guns.
Which they were like, "Oh, we didn't burn it down," but then they used incendiary rounds after putting flammable gas in there.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
Clearly, if I did precisely that, they'd be like, "Yeah, no problem. We got nothing."
I have spoken at length with David Thibodeau about the whole thing.
You know what's good for that? Safety Harbor? A 50.
True. Yeah, but David Thibodeau is?
No, I've heard that name though.
He's one of the Branch Davidians that survived.
Shoot.
And he swears up and down none of this stuff actually happened.
That's not
none of what the claims against
the claims, yeah. But it's funny how no one was ever charged.
Oh my gosh.
He wrote a book called Waco, and there's a Netflix miniseries called Waco.
I do remember the miniseries.
Yeah, that was based on David Thibodeau's book.
Ah.
And you talk about someone who does not like the ATF. It's him. He's also a GOA member, by the way.
Oh.
but he does not like the ATF.
Does anybody actually like the ATF?
Biden,
He can't even spell ATF.
AFT. Well, he has been talking about when his nurse used to come in and do stuff that
Whisper in his ear.
it was in his ear, and the whole thing with that video, why was he like speaking sideways, standing sideways up on stage?
So he's a smaller target?
Not even looking at the audience. He was looking totally sideways through the whole speech.
I only heard the audio. I didn't see the video.
He's not looking at the audience. He's standing at a 90-degree angle to the audience.
I don't know. He does all sorts of weird stuff.
Because maybe that's where the people off stage are prompting him.
Maybe, I don't know. That's just weird.
He missed his ex in the Ukraine too, so
yeah, that's definitely interesting.
not staged at all.
You know when George Bush passed out eating a pretzel, and the lefties kept saying give the pretzel a second chance. I say give the stairs another chance.
Was that senior?
Junior.
Oh.
Which one? No, Junior choked on something.
Yeah, pretzel.
What was it, a pretzel?
He choked on a pretzel and passed out. And so everybody on the left was making the joke, like give the pretzel another chance. I say give the stairs another chance.
Then.
Yeah, there's people jumping on people making fun of Fetterman.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's okay to make fun of anybody that's had a stroke, personally, but I also don't think that they should be hiding them just to avoid a special election.
Well, he's in the hospital now because of depression.
Well, so he claims depression.
Wow.
And look, God bless him. It could be depression. I
find the whole.
It's distasteful.
Yeah, that's a word for it. I don't want to say like, oh, he should have dropped out of the race. But realistically, for health reasons, you have a limited window of which you can do rehab to regain, motor skills, the senses, and that you had the stroke from. And if you're campaigning, you can't do that.
Oh,
and I don't necessarily blame him. I blame the people around him that kept him in the race, because that's just wrong. That was you sacrificed this guy in his health.
Hey, Xander, do you use Discord?
Yeah.
Did you see their new policy change?
I did not.
All right.
I'm not on there very often.
Let me go ahead and blow this up. This is
it a pop-up or is it a...
No, it's actually buried in their policy.
I started using it when Out of Battery started doing Discord. And then IPS has a Discord channel now, and so now I have Discord.
You must age restrict your channels if people admit to personal use or firearms possession.
If people admit to using or owning firearms?
Correct.
Is that so the FBI can recruit better, or?
Now, I mean, if you're talking LGBT drag queen story hour, do they have anything like that going on, or
no? Because that's not sexual at all. It's just a drag queen.
Yeah.
You know what really goads my goose?
No, John, tell us.
People that use they or them as their pronouns because they're plural.
Was it true that Elon Musk said if you use they or them as your pronouns, he's charging you $16 a month instead of $8?
Yeah, he did say that.
It's actually kind of.
I got to tell you. So, one of the funny stories from my dad, where my family's owned 2 houses, and the house next door to us we're renting out at the time. And the people said there were ghosts in the house, and my dad said, Well, if there's more than one family living in the house, I got to raise your rent.
That's that's classic.
Yeah. He said he was charging $8 per pronoun.
Orcs aren't people.
No, but
Well,
think about this. They're them.
I got to look up my
I saw-
pronouns.
I saw like some musician, Sam something, was talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I would love to quit music and become a fisher. They
A what?
fisher instead of a fisherman. He wants to become a fisher. Fisher. They.
It was probably said non-ironically then.
Yes, non-ironically.
That's
Non-ironically.
Hold on, I'm checking for my pronouns. I don't know how this thing works.
But-
Oh, my pronouns are Star-Lord, Savior of the Universe, Ultra Mega, and Squadron Leader. Do I have
okay.
You can have 3
All
pronouns.
right, I guess I got to pay
pronouns.
$32 a month.
I don't think I ever said any. I wouldn't even know where to set them.
No, I don't think there's a place to set them. But
Oh.
most places, believe it or not, do not have Star-Lord, Savior of the Universe, Ultra Mega, or Squadron Leader as your pronouns
Well, they'll have to add them,
As-
obviously.
as available. Yeah,
It's
and
not-
I kind of feel discriminated against.
It's not inclusive at all.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you choose something that's plural?
Snoring Rich says you forgot Sleepy.
Yeah, you know the whole story behind the Story Rich meme, right?
I'm a little pissed off about that, I gotta say. Dark has fell asleep on multiple of his own stream.
He falls asleep
I
on
fall
all of his
asleep.
own streams. The guy does not know how to end a stream. I love him to death, but just get off, dude. Like, you don't have to fall asleep with everybody.
Well, in the streaming, not to get off on stream, because that would be kind of
That probably violates the terms of service somewhere.
It might not.
It might not. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, if you do it dressed in drag, then you probably wouldn't. But no, Rich,
If you're dressed as a furry,
on Dark Street. Yeah. So so that's where the Flying Rich meme comes from, and then the Ruby Rich meme comes from somebody. Dark said somebody needs to create a Ruby Rich meme and or name, and then all of a sudden Ruby Rich showed up in the chat.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's
Definitely not related to anything.
Yeah. It's just it's really, really funny. And Ruby Rich says, yep. Yeah. So 3D printing is a new fad. When do you think it's gonna die?
it won't. It's like the internet and Bill Gates. You know, Bill Gates said it's a fad.
Okay, well, 3D printing is a new fad for the left to be afraid of. When will that die?
Oh,
As a straw man,
Yeah.
it's actually already starting to fade, honestly. So, as you're both acutely aware, I will actually talk to the press, because I'm not scared of that. And normally, about this time, once we start getting closer to the Makers match, there's some kind of press outlet going, "Hey, we want to cover this because it's DIY firearms or 3D printed," and this year really hasn't been that much interest.
wow. So Vice Media isn't coming after you guys?
Vice
Well,
didn't
I
really
think
come
Vice
after
only
him.
came year one. And
Vice
honestly,
was-
out of all of them, that documentary was not that bad. Like I was
Yeah.
kind of impressed with how not. I mean, they had some obviously anti-gun sentiment in there, but it was.
That's because
I
it
thought
wasn't
fairly
Carlos
balanced.
Maza.
Well, it was still somewhat fairly balanced. But
Didn't Carlos Maza get fired or something like that?
I hope so. Did I say that out loud?
anyway, I don't see
Mother
them
of-
pushing that agenda as
Oh.
hard anymore. It looks like a lot of the media outlets think that we're going to get an all out assault weapons ban or some sort of gun ban So they're not really pushing the DIY stuff as hard, or the scary ghost guns.
Yeah, because Xander, and you don't have to say, but do you have an idea of how many guns you've printed?
No earthly idea.
But all right, so let's just say there's some number of guns I printed, you printed, John printed. How many crimes have those guns been involved in?
None. None's the right answer, right?
I don't know. No, I think there's been there's been a couple 3D printed firearms that's been used.
No, I'm
There
saying
has been.
I
Yeah.
printed guns, John's printed guns, Xander's printed guns. None of our guns have got. They're the laziest guns in the world.
Yeah, mine mostly
They
just
haven't
sit on
gone
the
out
shelf
done.
these days if they're not at the match. But yeah, also circling back on that, it's literally impossible to regulate. I mean, if you really want to break it down, like, what are you gonna do? Make it need a license to buy a printer? Well, you can make printers from scratch. You don't need to buy them assembled.
I can make filament from soda bottles.
I can make filament from recycling. I can make printers out of scraps and plywood. Like, I mean, you're really not doing anything. There's really nothing to regulate here. So, I mean, they can say it all day until they're blue in the face, like they did with drugs, but it didn't do anything, and it won't do anything. So,
Yeah. How are those? They're machines that take like scrap filament and reproduce a usable filament out of it.
Yeah.
How good are those?
depends on how much you pay for it, obviously. But there are some that are better than others. But some of them are really good. That'll do the recycling. You're better off with non-filled stuff. Like if you're doing ABS or ASA or PLA, you can recycle that all day. Once you start talking about like carbon fiber filled or glass filled, you can run into some issues for the same reason that it's more tricky to print that stuff. It's tricky to recycle that stuff because you need to keep it consistent and not clog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the machines themselves work quite well. And there's several YouTube channels or YouTube videos and just instructionals out there on how to make one if you want to. Because you really just need a hot end and a nozzle with the right diameter. You feed
Hey,
the filament-
realistically,
you feed the
it's a
plastic
hot glue gun on a robot arm.
That's exactly, well, I mean, that's what a printer is. Yeah, this is a hot glue gun without the gun or the robot arm.
Oh,
It's
you're
a hot
talking
glue gun.
about to extrude filament.
Yeah, to extrude your own filament, you really just need a heating element, a nozzle, and something to feed the plastic into that nozzle. So
Mhm.
it is doable.
Hey, from what I understand, keeping a consistent diameter is the tough thing.
Yeah, and that has to do with, the consistency that you feed it through.
Yeah. I forgot I have a Cup Scout pack meeting tonight.
Your den mother meeting?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the whole entire pack. I don't know. You guys ever do Cub Scouts? I know Rich did.
I
I didn't
Oh,
do
no, hold on.
Cub Scouts. I
There's
did
no
Boy
pack.
Scouts for
Okay,
like
there
a
is
year.
no pack meeting. Never mind, it was canceled.
It'd
All right.
be awkward if you showed up.
No, we just got a message that the place isn't available. We have a last minute cancellation. Like once they said that have a pack meeting, we got like an email saying no pack meeting. I'm like, okay.
No pack meeting. They must have heard you. They must be watching the stream.
Yeah, no, they do. They do.
So Xander came on to talk about the Makers Match. We kind of talked about everything, but who's sponsoring the Makers Match this year?
This year so far, we have Def Cat again. As always, Out of Battery is sponsoring as well, and they're going to be doing a lot of media around the event. They're going to be doing some
Oh, cool.
interviews before and after and at the event, and they're going to be doing a lot of footage.
And that's a podcast, right?
Yeah, they are insistent on calling it a podcast. And I thought that was the most boomer shit ever, but to each their own. So the Out of Battery podcast or the Out of Battery team will be there doing a lot of media. And then JSD, of course, as usual, FPC is also a sponsor.
Oh, cool.
Yep. 2A3D, Matt, obviously.
Yep.
On Mission Arms is a sponsor again this year. I think they've been a sponsor every year. We have a few. I think Trigger Presses Union is a newer sponsor. I think they were last year and this year now. And then, of course, 2AO and Guns for Everyone. Guns for Everyone National is also the sort of overarching body that.
Now, is Polymerady a sponsor?
They were year one. I have reached out to them. I have not heard back for this year yet. I would like to get them on.
Do you have a good contact over there?
I have at least 2 folks that I still know over there. So okay, I need to give them a call. But if anybody wants to pressure them, I'm all for it. Or if there's anybody else that thinks that they would be interested in sponsoring, we're always open to new sponsorships.
We have the contact of Lauren.
That's somewhat high up.
Yeah,
yeah, if you want to reach out to them, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Year one, they were huge. Alex, who was their social media guy, came out to the event.
They got a new guy, I think.
Yeah, Alex,
they got a new guy. He's not there anymore.
Yeah, Alex works for DefCAD now.
Yeah, I'm aware. But yeah, they actually flew him out year one. They included P80 rails in the prize pool. They had some frames out for the prize pool. They were very big involved in year one. And then they had their whole reorg somewhere around year two. The match actually was happening around the same time. So
they had Strike Group, not Strike Industry, Strike Group bought in between the year one and year two.
Right. So I guess I don't know. There was a lot of internal stuff there, and so kind of fell through the cracks for them on year two, but we'd love to have them.
So John, you're going to make the call?
No, I'm going to have Dark do it.
Dark's making the call? Okay.
I'm going to ask him to do it. He has a better relationship. I have a professional relationship. He has like a friendship.
Huh.
So
there you have it, folks.
Instead of having like a professional relationship call.
That's fair.
No, is there a dollar amount level to be a sponsor, or what's the scoop?
There are several. If you're interested, I'd be happy to send over the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Send it over to me.
Because yeah, I don't know if Freedom Crew University has the finances to do that right now, but that'd probably be something we'd be interested in.
What's the lowest value?
The lowest value would be including swag bag stuff. So every year we do a swag bag for like a shooter bag for everybody that competes. This year it's 60 units. So if you provide 60 units of something from your company or
some product,
yeah, you would.
What's the second lowest?
Second lowest would be, I think 500.
Okay. What does that get you?
$500.
I think that's the entry level. You gotta put me on the spot here.
Sorry, we have a lot of people in the industry that watch this show.
I know, and it's a fun event because it promotes DIY.
I am so mad the 2 events that were in Florida I did not go to.
Yeah, that was a fail on your part, man.
Total fail.
Okay, so I was wrong. So 1,000 gets you sponsor level, just baseline sponsor. 2,500 plus is gold, and then 4,000 plus is platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for cash. If you wanted to do prize table stuff, there's a calculation for that. But like if you were a vendor of like P80, if Polymer 80 wanted to just do frames like they did year one, there's a calculation for that instead of cash.
Cool.
Well, all right. Well, that's pretty cool.
So are you competing or are you just like organizing?
So usually I just organize.
You're gonna be the king of the makers match. You're gonna sit up there with the crown and then oversee it. Like during jousting back in the day where they had the king sitting in the middle. of the jousting thing, watching people
That
joust.
would be fun to have. We actually, so at the St. Augustine range, they had like a giant beach chair, like one of those old like lifeguard chairs. And so one of the range officers actually sat up there during the day and did some RSO stuff from up there. It was kind of funny. It was very similar to that, actually.
Now, this year you're in Pennsylvania?
This year is in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Like I said,
We're in
it's going to
Pennsylvania.
be April 22nd in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, which I don't think I've ever been to Monroeville.
Where's Monroeville?
I've never been there. I'm not entirely positive.
Is it the West End? Like, is it close to JSD or?
Yeah, it is very close to JSD. Which
all right, so you're talking Pittsburgh area, right?
In Allegheny
you would,
County.
If you were to fly, you would fly into Pittsburgh, probably.
Yeah, it's in Allegheny County, which Pittsburgh is located in Allegheny.
I've flown into Pittsburgh on my own plane.
Well, now we're talking. Get it fueled up. We'll go.
Right. If my plane worked.
Yeah, my step grandparents used to live in Greensburg, which is kind of close to there.
Nice. But to answer your question, Rich, usually we try and do a staff match after the main event.
Oh, cool.
So I'll probably try and compete in that if we have time and energy for all that. But yeah, usually I help organize it with Rob and Edgar from Guns for Everyone.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Well, that is really, really cool. Rich, you should go.
I'd love to. If I had a working airplane, I would.
You know, they let you ride on other airplanes.
Yeah, but I hate to say it, flying now, it just totally sucks. It sucks worse than it has in many years.
Yeah, there was a scheme at one point to try and get one of the actually Zero was going to get a bus. He was going to rent a bus, and we were all just going to like pick people up as we went up the Eastern Seaboard. But now he is officiating a wedding like the week before, so that kind of ruined that plan. But
the party bus is out.
The party bus is out. I mean, I guess we could still do it just without Zero, but I need to find, a handful of people that would be down to do it.
You should do it.
Party bus.
Party time.
Have 3D printers running in the background.
I mean, we could actually do that. We could print match guns on the way to the match.
As long as you have a bunch of bamboos running. And
I still don't own a bamboo. I have my Voron. I don't have a bamboo.
So, like, can I ask you a couple of questions about your Voron? You have one Voron?
Yeah, I have a 2.4 R2 in a 350 cubed footprint.
Okay, that's going to be my next question. Was the build area?
Yeah, 350 by 350 by 350 is about as big as you can go before you start running into speed issues. Like real speed issues.
How many? What is it? Cubic centimeters per second do you print?
Oh, I'd have to do the math. I'm not sure. It runs at about 20,000 acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're printing non-filled stuff, it'll run like 500 millimeters a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you guys should do it in Centrella, Pennsylvania. Do the match in Centrella, Pennsylvania. You know what Centrella is?
I do.
No.
That place is on fire.
It's been on fire for since
50 years.
50 years. There is a coal mine.
No, coal mine.
Town, and the coal mine caught on fire, so it's been burning for.
There's a few people that still live there, actually.
Yeah, but most of the people took the buyout from the government.
Yeah.
When your roads are smoking,
you're in trouble. Yeah.
A lot of people decide that they don't want to stick around.
Yeah, most of the town is bulldozed. It's just fields and lots.
Yeah. And it's still burning.
I got a couple of Voron questions. So, does it really take 40 hours to print all the parts for the Voron?
No, it takes longer than that to print the parts.
Oof.
It's 40 hours just in build time on average.
Now that was the next question. Build
Yeah.
time. So once I heard 40 hours to print, 40 hours to build, and $1,000 for the parts, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your current printer. Or, I mean, you can always buy a printed kit or a
Yeah.
aluminum kit. Like, I have a mix. Mine's half aluminum and half printed. So,
yeah,
but
80
yeah,
hours plus $1,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I'm tapping out on that one.
it is not really a novice level project, no. But it is fully open source. I can upgrade it as much or as little as I want. And
I like that.
I can do whatever I want with the firmware. So the hacker side of me really enjoys that piece of it. Whereas
For sure.
the bamboo phone's home to China, and the hacker part of me really doesn't like that at all. So
Right. And believe it or not, so if you have the bamboo carbon, you can do direct land printing to it. But if you have the P1P,
yeah,
the only option other than, taking the SD card and putting it in is phoning home to China.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of
like,
the phone
what?
home to China. I would love to do a network sniffer while it's running, like on the network, and just
I
see what
probably
it does.
should.
Yeah, I would. That's what. Like, I almost bought one just to do that, just to go, guys, what are you doing? But $1,500 is a little bit steep for a told you so moment.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Be sure to go to the Makers Match. You can go click Flying Rich on YouTube, Flying Rich Firearms on YouTube, Fly Rich on YouTube, Flying Rich on YouTube, Flying Rich _ official on Instagram, MySpace, Facebook, D Live, Snapchat, OnlyFans.
Yes, the OnlyFans is true.
OnlyFans doesn't allow firearms, so we found that out when Snow got canned.
Yeah, they allow other type of projectiles. Also,
Don't
on
forget
Grindr,
flyingrich.com is
Flying-
the only place you need to go.
Yeah, go to Flying Rich on Grindr to find Rich on Grindr, and
In MySpace.
you can find me at Junk Crump Live, Junk News. Read my stuff over at Ammoland, and with that, Wireshark is the best packet sniffing tool. Yeah, it's the only one that's really used in the industry.
Okay.
Too much. I mean, there's some other ones like
there's lots of other ones, but
that's the one that's used 90% of the time in the industry.
that's fair.
I mean, you can do it like, I don't know. Have you messed with Nessus at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I could do a whole show just on network security if you want.
No, yeah, no.
Everybody would fall asleep, but we could do it if you really wanted to. We could just go in and start talking about tools and how to use them and how to break into airline Wi-Fi and all sorts of stuff.
You know what I miss when I worked for some big companies. They had breaking points. You were working at breaking points?
Yes, actually.
I miss breaking points.
Yeah. I have a funny story about that, but I don't know if I can tell it.
They're so simple. It's a click, click. Oh, here comes the attack. Have you ever worked with breaking points, Rich?
No. Is that like a honeypot?
No, it is a pen testing
framework
piece of hardware.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There used to be a lot of cool shit you could get your hands on and not end up in Gitmo.
Yeah, it's like a rack mounted pen testing piece of hardware.
Oh, okay.
Pre-canned, ready to rock.
Yeah, it's very, very simple.
But
people want a network. Oh, dude, let's do
apparently
it.
Apparently they do. Airline Wi-Fi is kind of easy. Yes, that's why I used it as an example, because you can explain that in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it. You down, Rich?
So, yeah, airline Wi-Fi, they're not doing like MAC address exclusion. Isn't it just like They're just not allowing DNS lookups.
They do isolate their DNS, but some of the new ones, I noticed that Southwest actually is doing they have a new kind of gateway that you have to bypass as well. They also try and block VPN connections, which is hilarious, but you can get around that just by using a non-standard port for your VPN.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
sure.
way.
Yeah, because all they're doing is they're doing like port filtering and blocking and stuff. They're blocking the port.
Yeah, if you just pick a high-range port for your VPN, like if you set up your own WireGuard at home and then pick a random port like way up high, 9 times out of 10 that'll work.
That's crazy.
It's like when people used to try to block web servers, they would just block port 80
80.
or whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And you just set it to 8080, and all of a sudden, boom, you're through.
Oh yeah. All the ISPs, so the cable companies would block port 80, so you couldn't have a reply to traffic on port 80 from your home network. You probably still do that.
They used to do that too if you violated like their terms of service or something. Like if they caught you torrenting or they got a letter saying you were torrenting, they would just turn off your DNS. They would block your DNS queries. So that would be how they turned off your network.
So, all right. So I'm actually working on something like that right now. What I did is, I set up free VPN services through the AMI cloud.
Yeah, so I actually have that automated. So it'll pop up free accounts all over the world and then disappear them once they hit their maximum free tier.
Yeah,
that's, it's a whole other thing.
One thing I can say about network security, most people get around network security by not doing like a direct attack. Like
one of my favorite things to do is I have a bunch of those Chinese cards that you can use like rubber duckies. They're not rubber duckies, but you can drop a payload on them the same as a rubber ducky.
Tell everyone what a rubber ducky is.
Okay, so a rubber ducky is a USB automated attack tool. So it looks like a USB stick. You plug it into your computer, it will run some flavor of automated attack. But you can get knockoff versions of these from China for like 80 cents. So you buy like 100 of them, and then you go and 3D print a case with like the company's logo on it or something. And I swear to God, you drop 10 of those in a parking lot, 8 of them will end up inside and plugged in.
Yeah, we used to do with rubber duckies a lot. Not rubber duckies, but like USB drives that have a call to home on there and drop them in parking lot. It's a common technique that a lot of people use.
It works great.
Yeah, Iranian centrifuges have never had that problem.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I gotta say. So I have, anytime I get a company computer, do you know what never goes into a company computer? I have never plugged anything, and I certainly wouldn't plug this one into a company computer.
I do all the time, but that's because they're hardware tokens.
Oh yeah, but yeah, any kind of company business computer, I've never plugged anything
but
USB
Rich, do you have a
into
Flipper
it.
Zero? Is the question.
No, I don't, but I've been thinking about getting one.
Slacker.
Have you guys? They got these drives that will like just like short out a whole PC.
Yeah.
Those things are
it builds up a capacitive charge and then unloads it.
Yeah, we used to have to do that manually. Now you can buy them. But yeah, it's just a capacitor on a USB stick.
Yeah, those things are nasty.
There was a project, I forget who did it. Somebody put up a bounty, 10 years ago, to try and find an automated way to kill servers if they were like physically stolen. And it was just a fun like mental exercise of, okay, somebody comes in, steals your hardware and plugs it in, somewhere else. How do you make sure that it self-destructs?
Well, the early military Motorola 68,000 chips, or was it the 6800, had a crash and burn feature on the CPU.
Well, military hardware in general, actually, once you rip it apart, it actually they glue the casing to the chips. So if you're trying to remove the casing, it'll rip the board apart.
Yeah,
So the chip that handles the encryption, especially, will get ripped out and it won't go back.
I used to have
Yeah, the ADXR. Let me see if I can find them.
I used to have a iron key and stored stuff on an iron key.
That's a little bit old school, but still valid.
That's what I said used to.
I have my Marauder, which is still just I'm not a huge fan of these. It's really just an expensive Wi-Fi scanner.
You can get like a pineapple, Wi-Fi pineapple now.
Oh, I got one of those here too. Got one of my old Nano ones. Wi-Fi Nano. Obviously, you have various flavors of pies, which is like
a Wi-Fi pineapple scans like all the radio frequencies, so like Wi-Fi hopping type stuff.
Yeah, it's all stuff that you can do by hand just as easily. Well,
Yeah, but
not just as easily, but it's all stuff you can do by hand if you wanted to. The tools just make it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's especially when a company pays for it. You know,
Some old Panda.
Ah, okay.
Panda chips. I got like 3 of those.
How about a Dash Bunny? You got one of those?
I do. Where is it?
People are like, what the hell are they talking about?
It might be in my goon bag. Because I have a couple of things I keep in my backpack, which is not anywhere near me, including my Flipper. The Flipper Zero is a lot of fun, though, especially if you have friends with Teslas.
Yeah, so you can steal their Tesla?
Yeah. Or at minimum, just like pop open their gas tank and leave like special surprises for them. You know. Teslas have become slightly less popular here in Florida after the hurricane, and they started exploding everywhere.
I can imagine. There's like everyone in my neighborhood. Do you have a key crock?
No.
Those are cool.
Those are cool. I don't think I have one, though.
A key crock, you know what a key crock is, Rich?
No.
So you hook up USB device to that, then you plug that in, and it's like a little pass-through, except it's a keylogger.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a Hack RF? Like
yes.
An RF1? Those things are sick. Yeah. You can do some terrible things with those. It's even more robust than the Flipper Zero, really.
Yeah, well, but the Flipper Zero does most of the stuff that you would ever really need to do.
And it's largely automated. That's what makes it so cool.
But it's a lot more expensive.
If you can even get one.
Nate D's late to the party here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stuxnet.
Yeah. They are very, very hard to get, right?
They are. I got mine from a developer that was working on the project before it became a thing. So I got mine very early on. And then they actually banned the import at one point, I think, because of the radios were transmitting on frequencies that weren't legal in the US or some such shenanigans.
Oh,
I think you can get them now.
Yeah,
but
you can. I found one. Adafruit has them in stock. They have 60 in stock.
Yeah, so you can get them now, but you have to. You don't have to, but you should flash the firmware as soon as you get it to get full functionality.
Yeah, Adaware does have them. They have 60 in stock.
Yeah, there's some great
or Adafruit. Sorry, not Adafruit.
There's some great after market firmware for them that really does improve the functionality. I guess it's the best way I can put that.
Just make sure you get the antennas, because they don't come with antennas.
I mean, it works okay without it. You have a pretty good range without them. What's his face that makes the Wi-Fi scanner came out with a Wi-Fi board for him too. Coco, just call me Coco or what? I forget his handle now.
Yeah,
but he came out with a Wi-Fi board for it too, so you can You can do Wi-Fi.
You can do Wi-Fi. They have mini remotes for it, so you can actually activate it.
Yeah, the other one that I have several of, there again in my backpack, is the Ponagachis, because you can use those in conjunction. So if you have like 3 or 4 of those, you can power them up, and they will actually talk to each other on their own private network, and they will coordinate which signals to grab, and they will snatch all the handshakes for the Wi-Fi in range, and then store those and upload them.
Yeah.
But the more of them you use at the same time, the faster it goes.
Yeah, when I was working for the State Department, they were so concerned about Bluetooth bazookas.
Bluetooth bazookas, because of the range extension. Well, Bluetooth is inherently just horrible.
Yeah, but the range extension. There were people overseas with these what they called Bluetooth bazookas, which were
like a Pringles can with a Bluetooth antenna.
Yeah. Then they were. People don't realize how Bluetooth works.
That's fair.
Before it creates a session, it transmits a bunch of data in clear text. These
Safety Harbor's like about to fall asleep on us.
And these people here, just steal that information. With that information, and you can just, during that brief period where the handshake happens, you can steal a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. And there was a while there where you could actually hijack devices.
Yes.
Through Bluetooth too.
That was, I think that was like Bluetooth.
Up to 4, or well, 1 through 3, you could do it.
Yeah, Bluetooth 4. I think they fixed that finally when people started doing it, and people.
4 fixed it. 5 is actually reasonably solid, but still not great.
It's not great, but like Bluetooth 1 to 3,
and that's so part of my home automation system is I want to do Bluetooth sniffing and detect when one of our vehicles came in by the MAC address, and then run some scripts based on that.
When I worked for the State Department, you turn on a Bluetooth device, security would be out there in like 30 seconds to set up an alarm once it detected it.
That had to be a mess.
Yeah. And they wouldn't know where it was, but they'd be walking around. You got a Bluetooth device. You Bluetooth on your phone. Bluetooth on your phone.
Very loud, wrong buzzer.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a buzzer. They'd come out of their office and start going deaf to deaf.
Yeah, we had something like that for Rogue Wi-Fi. Somebody was actually dumb enough to plug in a pineapple at work one time, and
oh no,
they were fired like instantly.
Why would they plug in a pineapple at work?
Now, I worked at one company, and like accounting firms come in and do audits, and they set up their own Wi-Fi in the conference room. It's like we were like on that in seconds.
So we actually had an instance where there was a Chinese firm coming in to discuss something or other, and so we purposefully left ports open on the wall, but we put them on their own VLAN and subnet just to see what they would do, and just left the sniffer running the entire time. And sure enough, as soon as they were left alone in the conference room long enough, they started trying to see how far they could get into the network. And we're just like watching all of this stuff come across.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty funny actually. My boss got a kick.
You leave a couple of honeypots out there for him?
No, we didn't have time for all that. We just sniffed everything they were trying to do as they were doing it. We're just like, yeah, you guys are silly. You thought we would be that dumb. But.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's put together. We can do like a special time security show.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I'll get out all my toys. I gotta find
totally geeked out.
Yeah, because Rich, you have a.
So what I find,
I do.
Well, I haven't done security in like a stupid long time since turn of the century when security was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So.
Sneaker
that was early 2000s. I was doing like web and internet security, which we had some companies come in and they're like, oh, they're plugging in behind the firewall and they're pen testing, like, oh, this will take hours. It's like, I'm like, all right, we'll go to lunch. He's like, and he clicks and launches and he's like, oh, it finished already. I'm like, yeah, all the ports are shut down. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The most dangerous, and I want to see if Xander agrees with this. The most dangerous security flaw in any network are the users.
Oh God, yeah.
Mhm.
No, humans
Yeah.
are the worst.
Yeah.
Humans suck.
Social engineering.
Yeah, 95% of my job is just trying to guess how stupid my users could be.
Yeah, that's the most by far the most the most vulnerable thing of any security, because you can like lock down a network, but locking down a person, you need buy-in from that person.
Right.
Yes.
And that's why zero trust model now exists, but that's
Mhm.
become a drinking game for sales calls. So you get on the phone with these sales guys and like, zero trust this, zero trust that. You know, you'd start taking shots every time they say zero trust, you die. But that's kind of where that comes from, is extending your parameter to the user so that you just don't even trust the user.
Yep. Look, Stuxnet, that got installed via social engineering. At least that's what they think.
Well, the whole facility was offline, so
Yeah, they think it was a USB drive that was inserted.
Well, so basically they had firmware that they reprogrammed the centrifuges to like tear themselves apart.
yeah. Well, it just ramped them up slightly over time. It's ironically very close to what the not Landsweeper. I'm falling asleep over here, y'all. The 3-month-old does not let me sleep a lot.
Uh-huh.
The God, what was that tool? Massive hack a year ago. Network scanning tool. Everybody uses it. Name escapes me for some reason right
Nmap?
No, and not Nmap.
now. No. As soon as I say it, you're gonna go, oh yeah. But I why can't I think of it?
Are you? Well, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a ton, but the one I'm thinking of had a horrible breach.
Oh,
You're not talking about
it's a company product, right? Company software product.
Yes. Brain not working good. Like it was like the number one network scanning tool in the world, and then this happened, and now nobody wants to mess with it. Like,
Where was it? Oh gosh.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I just can't. Somebody help me out. My brain is not.
It wasn't a Norton.
No, it wasn't Norton.
I remember. I remember
Norton
the
got
incident.
killed by the CIA. You know.
No, it wasn't Norton got killed. What's his name got killed?
Oh yeah, it was McAfee. Yeah,
McAfee. Yeah.
it was a joke either way. It doesn't matter. We can cover it on our network show. I'll have remembered it by then, hopefully.
No, but now it's bothering me.
I know it's really irritating the hell out of me.
I was going to say we could have Rogue Banshee. Rogue Banshee also does cloud engineering, network security stuff.
He does. I also follow and am somewhat friends with what's his handle? Terminal Junkie. That's it. Terminal Junkie on Instagram does a lot of fun, like random electronics and pen testing stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't run a sniffer on my Bamboo, so which I probably should have it on a segregated network as opposed to my own.
Yes,
network.
probably.
Yeah, because it's probably sending all your data back to China.
I mean, they even say that in their privacy policy that if you use their tools, it will phone home and send user data back to their servers. They're very clear about that part.
I checked the box that said no.
Well, I'm sure that really works.
Yeah, that almost never
Black
works.
on Black says not log 4D or D4.
No, not the log 4J.
Not log D4.
No, log 4J was horrible, but not the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, what was that? I'm going to sit here and it's going to bug the shit out of me.
Yep. John, you remember a minute after you end the stream.
Probably.
So, Xander, you got any of these?
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get ready and go.
What is that?
It's a 16 gig of RAM Raxa RockPi 5B.
Okay. No. SolarWinds.
Oh,
SolarWinds
yes.
hack. God, could not think of the name of that for the
Can I show you something really funny?
Always.
Look what I have pulled up right now.
The article on SolarWinds.
About to say.
Yeah, I was thinking of the SolarWinds hack because they got
We used
screwed over
SolarWinds for everything.
Yeah.
Right, everybody did, but then they had that supply chain hack where they were just changing code a little bit over time. Took them forever to do it, but it escaped all of their code reviews and everything else because they were only changing a little bit at a time.
Yeah. There's other ones that people use that does kind of like the same thing as SolarWinds, like network.
Oh yeah,
Also
there's tons of tools that do it, but SolarWinds was a huge name in that for a long time, and now I don't know.
They still are a huge name, believe it or not.
No, I know, but
The U.S. government uses them.
I know they're on the FedRAMP approval list still somehow
on the TRM. Yeah.
Oh, LastPass, yeah, that was a hack.
LastPass got hacked.
Yeah, LastPass got a breach. Almost everybody's been breached at this point, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
SB Tactical. They were breached.
Yeah.
They were breached. I actually wrote a sympathetic article because people were giving them shit. Like, I'm never going to use SB Tactical because their stuff got breached. There was a data breach. I was like, dude, every company gets data breached. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
And how contained you can keep it.
Correct. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Go ahead and plug the Makers Match one more time.
Yeah, Makers Match, makersmatch.com, April 22nd in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. I'll drop the link in the chat again, just so you guys can get registered if you're not already. It is open to anybody. The rules are posted, but the goal is you need to have produced your own firearm to compete in it. So either a kit build, P80, Polymer 80,
you hear that, Rich?
Or printed.
You have to produce your own firearm to compete in it.
Yeah, we're pretty stickler about that. So,
yeah, okay. All right, guys. That is it. We will talk tomorrow, and if you guys really, really want a network security show, we're willing to do it, man. We got a bunch of security people on.
We could do it. We could almost do a series on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm sure you've read a lot of the same case studies I have too.
Yeah, and I actually teach the stuff on the side here too, so I have some flavor to add if we want to do it.
Yes. And it's not like where you get hired anymore, like we talked about before. If you get caught hacking.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like the good old days where it's like you can go to jail or take this job.
Well, no, like when I was like 16, I got busted doing the SBA, Small Business Administration. It was basically like, don't do it again, and that was it.
Now it's like Gitmo.
I would be in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Thanks, Patriot Act. But,
all right.
But yeah, we'll do it. If you want to do it, we'll do it.
All right, cool. All right. I will see you guys later. And with that, we are out.